So today I'm going to share with you the best agency outreach script, method, lead scraping strategies, and also common problems and objections that you and I have both probably faced when doing outreach to get your first or second or third or 100th agency client. So let's dive in here. Today I got a good little video for you guys. So the best agency outreach method, right? Obviously there's a ton of different methods. This is going to be subjective to the one that I personally like the best, and I'll reason that, but I'll also share with you the other ones and the pros and cons of each. So email, let's start with this one first. Cold email, right? What are the pros and cons? Well, the pros is you could do mass volume. You could send out so many emails, right? There's no limit. You don't get banned. You can have so many different email accounts, email platforms, right? There's a million different ways you could send out thousands and thousands of emails per day, right? And you could automate this super easily because you just use one software like Lemlist or Instantly or whatever else that you use. The cons with email, though, is there's no trust and it's sketchy, right? I'm sure you've got cold email plenty. Despite how good the offer sounds, you might not click on it because it's email and there's a lot of scam in the email. So that is why email is not my preferred favorite. I actually do it, but it's not my preferred favorite. Now, let's go to cold calling. What are the pros and cons of cold calling? Well, there's more trust in the sense that you're on the phone with somebody, right? Like, obviously, yes, phone scammers are very much a real thing. However, there's just a bit more, like, they can actually talk to a real human being, and typically that's like a bit like less scam adverse, if you want to put it that way, right? Like, it's a bit safer than cold email, if you want to put it that way. It's also the quickest way and the easiest way in the sense that it's quick because it's like, hey, we do XYZ. Would you be down for that? No. Okay, next one. You know what I mean? Like, you get an answer right away. Like, it's either yes, let's book a call, or no, bye. Like, you don't have to sit here waiting for days for them to reply. You call, hey, hello, is this so-and-so from this company? Hey, man, to be honest, this is the pitch. You have 27 seconds. I could quickly, share with you my ideas. Yes, no, boom. If they say yes, awesome. So what we do is we help X, Y, and Z, yada, yada, yada. Here's my case study. Cool, cool, cool. Do you want to learn more? Yes, no, book a call, right? So that's why it's the easiest in the sense that all you do is look up a number, call them. You can answer right away. So it's not a bad way at all. However, it's tough because, like, hearing people say no, fuck off all the time just gets to you. It's hard to find leads, right? You have to actually search the numbers. It's it's a bit more difficult in, let's say, IGDMs. You get a lot of no's, and it's not scalable. You can't automate yourself calling, right? So then we go to DMs, which, as you can see here, I've put a little tab beside, is the best for beginners and for everybody, I want to say. Yes, they're all good. It's totally subjective to what I like. This is my personal preference, so take it with a grain of salt, but I do have some case studies to back it up. Here's the thing. With DMs, the pros are it's easy, it's fast, you're more trustworthy because they can see your account, and it's scalable, right? You can have multiple accounts, get a VA to send DMs for you. So it's very scalable. It's easier in the sense that finding leads is super easy. You just search up a thing and boom, you have a list of 100. The cons, it's time consuming, searching. And boom, click on the person, send them a DM. And there's limits to how many DMs you can send. So you will get banned, or I guess like restricted. So which one's the best? Well, like I said, in my opinion, the winner is DMs. So today we're going to talk about DMs. If you want a video on emails, go check out Jackson Williams. He is the email god. He has a full cold email masterclass. So search him up on YouTube. He has that. If you want to do cold calling, I don't know, go look at Thomas Cannett's video. So lead scraping. How do you find leads on Instagram to DM? Well, there's 3 methods. I'm going to teach you all of them. There's the drop down method, the followers/following method, and then the hashtag method. So I'll quickly explain all 3 of those. The drop down method, you know what? I'll pull it up on my phone just to show you guys because that'll make more sense. So, for example, you look up whoever you want. I don't know. Let's say you look up, who is this guy? I don't know who. This guy. It's Ryan Drake. I guess it's all backwards. See this little button right there? That little plus button? Click that button. See all these people that came up? People just like him that you can DM, right? So all you do is you search up a specific like niche or person. Like, I don't know if you're doing coaches. I don't know.
or the business people look up Alex Schmoes, click the follow drop down button. Boom, you click the drop down, you get infinite leads that way. That's number one. Followers/following. All you do is same concept. Find an authoritative figure in the niche that you are targeting. So if you're doing plumbers, obviously keep in mind one quick tip I'll give. You got to know where your prospects are, right? Like if you're doing plumbers, you are by far probably best off cold calling, because I guarantee you a plumber isn't sitting on Instagram all day, and he's probably not checking his email all day, right? Whereas people like you and me who are online, doing all our business online, like let's say an online fitness coach or I don't know, a sales coach, they're always going to be, on their phone, on their email, on their computer. So you got to know, this is something Jackson has talked about, is you got to know where your target audience, where your target market is, but where they're less likely to get reached out to. So if you, the best way I can put this is like, if everybody is knocking on the front door, you can still go knock on the same house, just go knock on the back door, right? You just get away from where everybody else is, but you're still targeting the same persons. That's the best analogy I can give you for actually getting in touch with people, because I know a lot of people sometimes say, oh, I struggle to actually get in contact with the person that, like the niche that I'm targeting. Well, you got to know where they are, right? If you're doing HVAC or plumbers or all these trades guys, they're probably not sitting on IG all day. So sending them IG DMs might not be the way. Cold call them, probably a lot better. They might not be super happy to hear from you because you're cold calling, but if you have a good offer, like, hey, we'll guarantee you 30 new leads you don't pay, they're probably going to say yes, because they probably don't get cold called all too often. So just keep that in mind with selecting what niche and where you should actually target them, because that will heavily change what outreach method is actually best. But for my situation, and for likely a lot of other people, a lot of the people that we are targeting are based online. Let's put it that way. So let's get back to the followers/following. What you do, same concept. Search up an authoritative figure, just anyone in that niche. If you're doing plumbers, like I said a million times, let's just pretend. Let's do sales coach, right? You search up sales coach. You find some big sales coach guy, right? You click on his following. You search sales. You DM everyone that has sales or sales coach in their bio. So this is like an infinite lead hack again. You could search his followers. Like if you go to Alex Schmoes, go to his followers, and then type in sales coach, you get all the sales coaches that follow Alex Schmoes, right? So they're probably not robotic accounts. So that's the lead scraping number 2. Now, the third one is hashtags. One that I personally don't do simply because they're not the best quality of leads. But the pro to hashtags is that they're recently active because they just posted, right? Search up a hashtag that the niche that you're targeting would use. So if you're using sales coach, you could use sales coach life. I don't know, right? Because if you do sales coach, you might get people who aren't a sales coach but are targeting sales coaches, if that makes sense. So use the hashtag that they would use, right? If you're using if you're targeting realtors, you could do like realtor life. Like only realtors would use that hashtag. Press the hashtag, press on post, press on recent, boom. There you go. You get all the recent people who have posted. So that's the 3 best methods for lead scraping on IG. Now, what do you do when you find a lead? Well, you like 3 of their posts and you DM them, you reply to their story or their highlighted story. The reason for this is you get like an extra notification, and it's a lot easier for them to reply because it seems a bit more genuine. So if you can, either reply to their story or their story highlights with your script, your DM, whatever that is, which, like I said, I will share with you a script that I personally use and that I recommend. But yeah, anyways, moving on. A couple things to keep in mind. You want to follow up 1 to 4 times every second day. So there's no perfect amount of times you should follow up or when you should follow up. It just comes down to how much do you really want to follow up. So you could follow up every single day for 10 days. You could follow up once every week for 10 weeks. You could follow up 1 time and never again. Whatever floats your boat, have at it. Optimize your profile. I have a whole nother video on this called How to Get a 50% Reply Rate on Instagram DMs. The whole concept of that video is essentially look like a human, don't look salesy. That's basically it. And have multiple accounts is another quick little tidbit, because you will get banned or restricted after a certain amount of DMs depending on how warm your account is. So if you have multiple, you can send from multiple accounts. Wonderful. Now, one quick little side note. People always say, well, what do I send for follow-ups? Well, anything. Make a joke. Like, one that you could use is, you're harder to reach than my 90-year-old grandmother with no phone. I don't know. I think one that I personally use and got a lot of laughs with was maybe I'll be better off sending you a message in a bottle and I might get a reply that way, right? Yeah, you do what you gotta do. You could just say, hey, are you there? It's whatever you want. There's no secret sauce for any of this. So have at it. Now, this is what everybody's here for, right? The script. Let me be the first to tell you the script doesn't really matter. There's a billion people always want script. Who cares, right? It doesn't matter. However, I'm going to share with you a good script. How ironic is that? Now, there's two different types of scripts if you have clients and if you have no clients. So let's go through if you have no clients first, or if you've just got your first client. Like the point is, you have no case study, right? You want to be authentic and you want to be honest. So what would that look like in an actual message? Now, I'm not saying that this is the exact first message you send. I have a whole other video on should you want to provoke a response, or you can pitch straight out the gate, whatever floats your boat. Like I said, there's no perfect way. Some people like to say, hey, is this the best place for questions and then pitch? However, that can be misleading. Some people like to pitch right away, but then they get a lower response rate because they're pitching right away. Some people like to say, hey, can you send me your website link? It's broken. But then, pitching them after that is like a bit like stabbing in the back because it's really, they don't see it coming. So you got to find the balance of what works for you. Test them out and just stick to one. If you keep trying to find the perfect one and you never send DMs, you're going to do a lot worse than the guy who just sticks to one and sends 1,000 with the one bad outreach message, right? Cool. So an example of if you have no clients, what would your script look like? Well, it could be something along the lines of this. Hey, man, I'm honestly just trying to get into the online world, helping coaches run their ads to get more leads. Could I try this for you to get some experience and help you get some more leads? The point of this message is essentially to be authentic, show that you have no clients, show that you have an interest in learning something, and asking if they would want any assistance for free to hopefully get them the desired result, which in this case is more leads. And then after this, you want to book a call, sign them on a free trial, and eventually get them paying. But the point is, if you have no clients, you want to get a banger case study, so you want to just get a free trial client as quick as you can. Now, what if you have a client? What should your script look like now? Well, here's the structure. Who you are, what you do, / how you can benefit them, your case study, and your call to action. So an example could be, hey man, I'm a 20-year-old entrepreneur and I help businesses scale their programs by getting 10 leads per week, or you don't pay. I just did this for XYZ company, getting them over 50 leads in just 24 days. Would you be opposed to seeing how I did this? I'll share it with you for free, right? So you have who you are to build a bit of trust, a bit of rapport. You have what you do so they know what you're offering and how it benefits them. Make sure you add both of them in there, right? If you just edit videos, cool, they know what you do. How does it benefit them? Saves them time, right? For example, that's just one example. Your case study, right? If you have a client, you have a case study, you want to do this to put proof that you actually know what you're doing, and then call to action. You want them to reply. Like, what are they going to say? Oh, cool, you got leads? Like, say, get them to reply with a call to action. So the call to action here is, would you be opposed to seeing how I did this? What are they going to say? No, I'd be opposed to see how you got leads. Like, no one's going to say that. So maybe I've actually had that once, and it was quite funny. The guy said, yes, I am opposed. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Anyways, basically, if they say anything but no, try and book a call, right? And there's a couple different ways you can do this. Like, you want to book a call off the premise of giving them something. So you could do the showing route where you show them something. In this case, you show them how to get leads. You could do the answering route where, let's say, they have questions. Like, let's say you're an authoritative figure and you are answering their questions. Okay, yeah, I'd love to answer a couple more questions. You want to hop on a quick call. It'll be a lot easier to explain this. You could do the free route where you're offering something for free, right? A free blueprint, a free, I don't know, whatever the case is, a free audit, depending on what niche you're in, booking a call based off the premise of giving them something for free, or the value route where you're just sharing some valuable information with them, right? Whatever the case is, you want to give something, you want to give them a reason to jump on the call. Remember that. People aren't just going to jump on a call for no reason. They have to have a reason to jump on the call. So give them a reason and make sure you let them know that when you tell them to jump on the call. Don't just say, hey, let's jump on a call. Say, hey, let's jump on a call to discuss X or to solve Y or to give you Z, whatever, right? Once you're on the call, you want to sell a free trial or a paid trial. And remember, sell yourself and the benefits, not what you do. You're not selling it. Like, if you're an SMMA or if you're in short form content, you're not selling video editing or paid ads. You're selling who you are, what you are building, and how it'll benefit them. So, right, in SMMA, you are the benefit to them is consistent, good quality leads. For example, for sure from content, it's getting your time back for editing the videos or for building your social presence, right? Those are the benefits to them, right? You want to sell the benefits, not the features. I'm sure you've heard this in a million different places, right? You want to sell the destination, not the plane ticket, right? You don't sit there and say to them, oh yeah, the plane is awesome, the food on the plane is great, and the airport lounge is awesome. No one cares about that stuff, right? You don't care about that. You care about how relaxed am I going to be when I'm sitting on that Hawaii beach looking at the sunset, right? So keep that in mind when you try to sell to somebody. Don't sell them on paid ads are the best, paid ads are so good, my video editing is the best. Sell them on what it'll do for them. Remember that. Sell the benefits, not the features. Okay, cool. Now, let's get back to this. A couple more things I want to go through real quick to help you out, and then you should be well on your way to getting more clients, getting your first client, whatever the case is. Now, let's go over a couple common problems. First one, and I know it's funny, but not sending enough DMs. So many times people say, oh, I don't get leads, I don't get meetings. It's like, how many DMs are you sending? Oh, about 10 to 20 a day. It's like, well, there's your problem right there. If you sent 1,000 a day, do you think you'd have a problem booking meetings? Probably not. So, send more DMs is number one. And I don't want to hear I don't have time, or you're just making excuses, and have fun staying broke. That's the truth. So, if you want to actually, make it in the space, you got to put in the work. Now, next problem, common objections. The offer does not benefit the person. A lot of times I see people that offer something that doesn't actually help anybody out. So why would somebody pay you money for something that doesn't actually help them? Doesn't make sense, right? Now, another thing is there's no trust. You've built up no rapport with the prospect. The prospect just sees you as potentially a scammer. So make sure you build up some trust. Let them know who you are, what you do, right? Sell yourself once again. Another one is no case study. I see people all the time who have no clients try and pretend like they know everything. They don't have a case study. Get a free trial client. Be authentic. Be honest. Share that you haven't done it for anyone else. And just get that first case study and life will be good. Now, next thing. Not wanting to get on the call. I see this all the time, and the reason is simply this. They don't see the value in taking their time to jump on a call with you. So just know that. Like, if they say no to the call, it's because they just don't see the value. And it's as simple as that. So you got to figure out a way on how you can actually present to them that, hey, this call will benefit you, right? Explain to them, hey, this call will benefit you. Obviously, you don't want to do this in an ideal world. They already see why it'll benefit them. But you want to explain to them why the call will actually help them out. And another common problem is people just aren't texting the right leads. Like, they're texting bot accounts, or they're texting people that don't even have a business. I'm sure you've got a DM saying, I've got DMs saying, hey ma'am, would love to. I'm like, I'm not a ma'am, sorry. Or people saying, hey man, I see that you're also a coach, and I'm like, dude, I'm not a coach. Like, what? So make sure you're targeting the right people. And last one, can't book a call. The likelihood is that you probably just aren't benefiting the person. So think about this. In business, we are solving problems, right? The whole premise of business is we're trying to solve people's problems. You have to figure out, what is it that you do that actually solves their problem? People always say, I want to get into SMA. Why? Why don't other people make money with it? Well, no, that's the wrong way to go about it. You got to figure out, what is it that I do that actually solves their problem? So a better way to look at this is, what problems do people have, and what can I do to solve their problem? Because if you can solve someone's problem, why wouldn't they pay you to do it, right? Obviously, there's a couple other things that go into that, but just a general kind of rule of thumb. Now, here's a question I got asked today is, how do I stand out in a saturated niche? Well, here's the ways you can do it. You can build more trust. If you are more trustworthy than everybody else, they'll come to you. For example, Alex Hermosi. I'm sure there's millions of other acquisition companies he competes with, but guess what? He's probably the most trustworthy of them all. He shares everything he knows. He's everywhere on every different platform. So there's more trust. Okay, so he stands out. Having a better offer. That's the next one. If you have the best offer, if everyone guarantees 50 leads in a month and you guarantee 100, It's a no-brainer. Your offer is better. Why won't they go with you, right? Third one is have a banger case study. If you have the best case study ever, right? If you worked with Kevin O'Leary, and you got him billions of dollars, or you work with Jeff Bezos and you increased his revenue by 20%, that's a big deal. That's recognizable. So if you're a banger case study, you'll stand out. Okay? And the last one is pick another niche. If it's really that bad for you, pick another niche. I wouldn't recommend niche jumping all the time, but however, it just might be the thing that will benefit you the most. Now, with all of this being said, I hope you found some value in this. This is obviously the way that I personally have gone about it myself in business, and how I have scaled my agency, and how I've scaled actually 2 agencies now. One little side tidbit here is what I want to talk about at the beginning is know your niche, right? Pick one niche, stick to it, know where they are, know where to find them, right? You're probably not going to find a mechanic checking his emails every single day, but a lawyer probably will. So just know where you're going to find your target market. Okay? Anyways, that wraps up this video. I hope that there was some good value in here that you can use for yourself. If you are a young entrepreneur, agency owner, and you want to connect with a bunch of other people who are either still getting their first client or well on their way to get to 20 or 30, 10K months with their agency, I do have a free entrepreneurial Discord for young agency owners. You can click the link down below and join that. We just hold each other accountable. We answer questions, and we just got a nice little community with like-minded individuals. Because you know what they say, you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So spend time with winners, and you will become a winner. That is all for today. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next one.